Support for the Leadoff on WGLT and WGLT.org comes from the Central Illinois Regional Airport, offering one stop to worldwide destinations from Central Illinois with daily flights on Delta Airlines to Atlanta. Close, convenient, CIRA. More at CIRA.com.
LeRoy schools have a new updated mapping system to help emergency responders. That's one of the things you need to know to start your day for Wednesday, November 12th. I'm Ryan Denham, and this is WGLT's The Leadoff. Now let's lead off with an effort in McLean County to reduce emergency response times to schools. Here's WGLT's Eric Stock.
The superintendent of LeRoy Public Schools, southeast of Bloomington-Normal, Jeff Boffman, says emergencies are fairly common at school. Students or teachers needing medical attention and the occasional false alarm. He says navigating emergency personnel to the scene can be a challenge.
We might have an emergency call where a student or a staff member needs to be treated, and I'm literally standing out in front of the building, flagging them down and going, okay, we need to go down this hallway, this corridor, we're on the second floor, we're here. And that just adds more time.
And time during an emergency can be critical. LeRoy has become the first school system in McLean County to work with the county's Emergency Telephone Systems Board to create digital indoor maps of each of its buildings and of its outdoor spaces. Emergency dispatchers have detailed coordinates through GIS, Geographic Information Systems technology, to give to first responders. Boffman says the maps are part of the district's crisis plan, and the technology is being spread to other schools throughout McLean County.
Every public school is currently on board with implementation of some phase, and then I'm aware of the private schools also being involved. So I think the long-term vision is that all schools would be, and I think all schools should be.
State funding helped pay for the digital maps. Boffman would like to see the technology at all public places someday. With reporting from WGLT's Braden Fogerson, I'm Eric Stock.
Here's some other stories we're following in the WGLT newsroom. The Trump administration's aggressive deportation campaign in Chicago is expected to soon ramp down as U.S. Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino and many of his fellow agents prepare to move on to another city. Bloomington Police will host another round of its Pack the Cruiser food drive due to increased demand and decreased funding. That'll happen Saturday from 10 to 2 at both Kroger locations in Bloomington. And Republican Darren Bailey says he's moving forward with his campaign for governor. Capital News Illinois reports Bailey's candidacy was in doubt after his son, daughter-in-law, and 2 grandchildren were killed in a helicopter crash in Montana. You can find more on these stories at WGLT.org. The latest data from the VA indicates 17 U.S. military veterans die by suicide every day. The VA says veteran suicide prevention is its highest clinical priority. They're not in the fight alone. I recently visited a Central Illinois hockey team that's creating space to talk. It's not even 9 o'clock on this Sunday morning, but the Central Illinois Veteran Warriors hockey players are already on the ice. It's practice day, and they start by running some drills.
It's not a deking competition here, so just everyone lines up.
Team President Derek Beach says the Warriors do provide some military-like structure, but you don't have anyone bossing you around like your old sergeant.
We hold each other accountable, if somebody makes a mistake or messes up or, somebody backs out of practice at the last minute, we're saying, hey, what's going on? Are you okay?
Beach and his teammate, John Benar, say they take pride in creating a welcoming environment for all comers, including those from Bloomington-Normal. Benar served 22 years in the Marines. The hockey team is the only veteran social group that he's part of.
We're not counselors or therapists, but getting out there with other veterans that have had the same experience that you've had maybe in Iraq or Afghanistan, and being able to talk to them about those experiences and maybe talking to them how they've gotten through different situations can be extremely beneficial.
The Warriors tout themselves as the only sports program in Central Illinois dedicated to rehab and therapy for disabled veterans. They strive to provide something of a buddy check support system and an experience for veterans suffering from PTSD, substance abuse, or other issues. Derek Beach from Pekin says one of the goals is to help reduce veteran suicide.
So that if you're struggling with something, you feel free to speak your mind to somebody on the team or somebody in the locker room and just kind of give us that mental health aspect of that.
There are 32 players on the team, across many skill levels. Not everyone makes it to every practice or every game. They do show up when it counts. When a tree fell on the house of a veteran who didn't have insurance to get it fixed, the Warriors showed up to cut it down for him.
We are a hockey team, but we're here to be a group of brothers.
Beach served in the U.S. Army, including a deployment to Baghdad in 2008. He was injured and medevaced out. Today, he runs day-to-day operations as a supervisor at Veterans Memorial Arena, the peak and ice rink where the Warriors sometimes practice, as they did this past Sunday morning. Beach says his favorite part happens when they're together socially, like during a recent team trip to watch a Bloomington Bison pro hockey game.
I enjoy the guys enjoying it with their family and just seeing how they interact in their homes, and their people. It's cool. It's cool to see just the atmosphere that everybody's created here, the friendship, everybody just laughing and joking like we've all been together or lived together, It's just we're a big family.
The Central Illinois veteran Warriors come from all over, including Bloomington and Normal, Peoria, Decatur, Springfield, and Champaign-Urbana. Warrior Hockey is a USA Hockey program, so the Central Illinois team plays against similar teams across the country at travel tournaments. John Benar, the former Marine, says the team's made a tangible difference in the lives of its players.
I know there's a lot of guys that were struggling with certain mental health or disability, and pushing guys to go out to the VA and to get that help and to get the treatment and to get the VA ratings and the services they need to. I think that's the biggest part of it. And a lot of these guys probably wouldn't have done it. They didn't know how to do it.
The veteran Warriors hockey team is always looking for new players. No experience is necessary, and they'll even give you some equipment if you need it to get started. If you're interested in joining the team, contact info@civw.org. If you or someone you know is in crisis, please call, text, or chat with the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline at 988. Before we let you go, the Bloomington Liquor Commission meets today at 4 o'clock at the Government Center. On the agenda is a request for a license from the vendor Sodexo at Illinois Wesleyan. And that is it for today. I'm Ryan Denham. The show's produced by Cheyenne Brown. You can subscribe to the Leadoff on the NPR app or wherever you get your podcasts.